All right, welcome back to Win U. This episode, we are super excited. We're going to be featuring Arkansas softball and Vanderbilt baseball. I'll go ahead and hand it off to Megan Willis, our softball expert, and she's going to talk a little Arkansas softball.
Yeah, I love it. I think the fact that we're usually talking MLB and whatnot is fun, but I like bringing it down to the next level, the college level, and for me specifically, it's nice to see some softball get a little love out there. Specifically Arkansas softball and how they've been able to utilize Win Reality into their daily practices. Let's take a look.
Mention how Arkansas uses virtual reality to work on their offense, on their vision training, on seeing the pitch out of a pitcher's hand. And this is what it looks like whenever they have that gear on. This is what it looks like in their perspective, being able to use virtual reality to have pitch recognition, be able to recognize pitches, release point, how quick the ball is going to be able to get to the plate, also take a few swings. So many things that you can do with Win Reality's virtual training. Pretty cool. Or virtual reality training, I should say.
So it looked like a video game.
So as you watched and listened, that was Amanda Scarborough on the call. That was during an ESPNU game. And it was so awesome to see that they were able to utilize that, mainly because this was during their big series against LSU. And if they went on to win that series, as they did, Arkansas became the SEC champs.
Yep.
We found out this weekend they have to share that title with Florida, unfortunately. But this is the first time in Arkansas's softball program history that they were our season SEC softball champions. And I'd have to imagine they're going to give some recognition to Win Softball, our Win Reality, mainly because they actually use it. Coach Yo there, the hitting coach, she brags about the app and loves how much the virtual reality training has really helped them. Some of those clips that you saw there, you saw the occlusion, the hitting beta. What I really like, and I have to imagine another thing that they're using pre-game is the pitch recognition. I think you're going in there, doesn't matter who you're facing, you're zoning in on a location and you're zoning in on probably trying to figure out if you're going to swing at pitches in the zone or not. I actually really like the release point. I think that's I don't want to put it down, but it's a very basic idea, right? Yeah. It's something maybe you and I did. I know for sure before virtual reality was a thing, we'd have to pick up softballs with numbers on them or colors on them, and like this is just bringing it forward to 2021, the same idea. But if you can get a pitcher in there that's a lefty or a righty, or you have someone that you know has a specific release point, if she's a curveball thrower or if she's a rise ball, you're watching that, that's going to get you to zone in on the release point. So again, for Arkansas, not only did they become the regular season champs this year, there was two very specific stats that I thought probably played into their training, and that is their walk numbers went up and their home run numbers went up exponentially. The home runs this year alone, and I think this caught your attention even, they have 89 home runs on the season, and they're just entering their championship. So SEC championship tournament play. They still have regionals because they're a top 10 team, so they're for sure going to regionals. So you have to imagine that's 10 more games they get to add to that. And just to put that into perspective, in 2019, they only had 50 home runs. So I have to think when you're going in there day after day trying to hone in on your vision training, Win Reality definitely played a part of that. Or I'd assume so. I don't know.
Maybe a small role, but
maybe a small role. Maybe they're
helps.
out there. They're doing a ton of other practices, but this is definitely something they've added to their repertoire. And Coach Yo talks about it all the time. And again, this is something that is so new for us in softball. I think for baseball, you guys have been able to play along with it a little bit more. But for the fast pitch game, the fact that you can just throw on an Oculus, the headset, maybe work on it for 10 minutes at a time, 15 minutes at a time. Add it into your hitting stations, maybe just hanging out pregame. I don't know. We only get to the field 2 hours before game. How long? You guys get like 4 hours, don't you?
Yeah,
4 hours?
At Vanderbilt, I think we were about 6 hours.
See? So you have a lot of time to kill, and a lot of that's probably getting video and working on, just your scouting reports and just chilling out. And I think what better way to kind of expend 10, 15 more minutes than using the Win Reality app on that headset. So I think it's pretty cool to see Arkansas and, of course, see that on ESPN the other night.
Yeah, I'm a big Arkansas softball fan. I've spoken with Yolanda quite a bit now, and I'm one of her biggest fans, and obviously the program's biggest fan. She's great.
Let's talk to her.
Just full of energy. Yeah, we got to get her back on. We did talk to her at some point.
I want to know if she's my if she likes me more, if she likes you more.
Oh,
You're her biggest fan.
Yeah, well, you're part of that culture, so. No, we're just so happy for their success, and whatever part that we play in that success, we're happy to be a part of that growth as the program continues to excel. But yeah, Megan said it perfectly. It's just working Win Reality into your routine just a little bit. It's 10 to 15 minutes a day. It doesn't have to be anything too extensive. And it's just like that small piece of seeing pitches before the game.
Yeah, it can't not
an actual pitch.
Yeah.
Like an actual pitch, not a pitch on a screen, but like an actual pitch that looks exactly how you're going to perceive it in a game.
Yep.
So tons of value there. All right, cool. We'll go ahead and throw it over to Vanderbilt now. No bias here for me there, but we're going to show you a couple images of this is our stadium, and then our guys kind of using it in the cages. So what Vanderbilt does, and this is really, I don't know if it's too unique, but the way they structure their practice plans is all station-based. And those stations are very regimented. So each station is an amount of time. If we go over, we move to the next station. And as you could see, there were guys using it in the cages. So there's multiple stations in the cages. You have flips, you have live throw and BP, and then you have your Win Reality station. So what you're doing is you're mixing it into that practice plan, and you're incorporating in-game reps with your actual physical repetitions in the cage of swings off a tee, everything you're doing there, and you're just adding a little bit onto it. And then really outside of that, what Vanderbilt does well is they use it as a game preparation tool. And I know on the softball side, we're trying to move in that direction.
Getting there, hopefully.
Hopefully we'll get there really soon. And that'll be an excellent use for our softball partners as well. But on our baseball side, Vanderbilt uses it, and they actually work with us to load in the starting pitcher for that weekend. So you think about SEC weekends and the kind of talent you see on a regular basis, you are looking for every advantage you can possibly imagine. And a lot of that advantage comes from the repetitions you're able to take against that pitcher before actually seeing him in a game. So I think about the pitchers that Vanderbilt has right now. Kumar Rocker and Jack Leiter, they're going to go like 1-2 or 1-2 or 1-3 in the draft this year. Those are elite talents, and that's what you see in the SEC. Even on the softball side, you're seeing the best of the best with that conference. So I think about it as a hitter. If you were to tell me, like, I could get in there and I can see Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker 2 days before actually seeing him on a mound, and it's going to simulate the same kind of reaction out of me that I feel in the game, and I can feel that adrenaline, and I can really immerse myself in that situation. How do you not take advantage of that?
I'd be like, Coach, we need this right now. Wouldn't you? If you didn't have that program?
No.
People like, well, what the heck?
I'm old, yeah.
It's like, I need that right now if I'm going to compete. So.
Yeah, I'm old, and I was a pitcher at that point, so I would probably be on the butthurt side of the team starting to use this. Are you kidding me? And I remember when we started working with more.
If you're Vanderbilt's pitchers, you're like, yeah, they get to see all this.
Yeah, you're like, come on.
I'm still questioning it, but whatever. Times are changing. You gotta be with it.
Oh, what's funny is, people talk about how hard hitting is and hitting so hard. And sometimes I would go out there as a pitcher and I'd be like, hitting looks really easy right now against me. And I don't know why that is. Is it me or is it? No, but we're happy to be working with these programs. Obviously, I'm biased. I love working with Vanderbilt. And I think that, they're an all-time program over there, how they carry themselves, how they do practice, and obviously how they perform in games. All right, just one question, then we'll wrap it up. I wish I could afford this, but the hitting functionality costs a lot, and with the monthly fee, it's too much. So I guess what I would talk to here is that yes, it's a lot of upfront cost, but when you think about yourself and your development, and especially depending on what level you're at, if you're a youth player, high school, college, aspirations to play in college, and further in the pros, you have to think about it as an investment in your actual performance and your training. So I would consider Win Reality in the same light as a strength coach, as everything you do in your physical training, because what you're missing out on there is your ability to train your mind.
Well, I think it's just an addition if you have a hitting coach already too, right? Because the fact that if you had a specific drill or question, you could set it up so your hitting coach is seeing what you're seeing, right? And
Right.
so like it can kind of give him or her a more in-depth look to what you're seeing, how you're reacting.
What's your approach look like? Yeah, like why are
Exactly.
you seeing that pitch this way? Oh,
Yep.
I see, like your movement outside, and I can see the casting onto the
Mm-hmm.
TV of what you're actually seeing in the headset. Yeah, so I mean, there's just a ton of value there, and I would put a hesitation on just thinking of everything as dollars and price, and think more about the actual value that it brings. I mean, you have the ability to face a similar pitcher that you'll see in games before the games, and I mean, I don't know if you can necessarily put a price tag on that. That's preparation, and you think about baseball and softball. It's a lot of repetition. That's
It's
what
all
it is.
repetition,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's all repetition, and it's all better understanding the way your body's moving, but also the way that your brain is functioning, and especially confidence. I mean, you think about the amount of failure in those two sports,
Yeah,
especially as a
it's a
hitter.
sport of failure.
Yeah, you're telling me that I can go into an application and I can fail 1,000 times before actually getting to the game?
Yeah.
Get it out of the way. Get it out of the way early. Take advantage of that
You're
opportunity
not
to
getting
actually train.
ranked right now on this app, so no one needs to know your scores other than yourself or your parents or your coaches. But again, like, yeah, where else are you going to go get 1,000 live pitches, 1,000 live reps? Usually if we want that many reps, we're hitting off of a tee, and we're maybe getting some front toss, but that's not spin, that's not release point. You're not looking at a pitch coming at the velo you're used to getting.
Yep.
So I think it's invaluable.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And then I don't know if you all know this yet, but we're moving in a pretty exciting direction as far as building out our player development coordinator team here. And that's going to really unlock the knowledge that exists in this company. I mean, you have Megan here who's played softball since she was little and played at the highest levels. Like, that's something that you don't necessarily get access to on a regular basis. So yes, the equipment is a big cost up front, and then you have that small monthly fee. I would go with the annual subscription, take advantage of the 30%, and then just invest in Win Reality. Give it a try, and I promise it will work out and it will benefit your game.
What he said. He's so right though. It can't not help you at the end of the day, especially I feel like the younger you are, just trying to pick up pitches and understand what a release point looks like or what a spin of a rise ball looks like as opposed to a drop ball. Those are things you all have to learn and recognize, and you only do that with repetition, and that's what we can give you.
Absolutely. All right, I think we have one more question coming in, and then
lucky.
we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Are you
take
going
it?
to add more pitchers for younger kids like coach pitch? So that's a great question. I don't know if this is coming from a softball or a baseball user, but just a generic response to that question is we are constantly trying to build out our library of pitchers, and we really want to give kids of all ages the opportunity to face pitchers that they would face in games. That's our big idea, and it's a process to do that, but it's definitely at the top of our list of things to do and action items for this company is to make it so that you can actually have a game preparation situation before getting into that in-game live action. Same thing on the softball side.
I'm almost certain coach pitch on softball still overhand.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. Maybe that's not as
I don't know. It's been a while.
Yeah. But if there's no more questions, we just want to thank you so much for joining this episode of Win U. We talked a little bit about Arkansas softball, a little bit about Vanderbilt baseball, and we hope you enjoyed it.